Chaos Walking was directed by Doug Liman, stars Daisy Ridley, Tom Holland, Cynthia Erivo, Nick Jonas, and David Oyelowo and Mads Mikkelsen, based on the novel of the same name by Patrick Ness. And in Princeton, Todd has been brought up to believe that the spackle released a germ that killed all the women and unleashed noise on the remaining men. After discovering a patch of silence in the swamp, his surrogate parents immediately tell him that he has to run, leaving him with only a map of the New World, a message, and many unanswered questions. He soon discovers the source of the silence, which is a girl named Viola, and together they have to be on the run and stop this villain, I guess, played by Mads Mikkelsen. Before I get into my thoughts on this thing, I want to see what you guys have to say about this movie in the comment section down below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you somewhere in the middle? All my social media links are in the description box down below. If you like what you see here, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like this video because it does help with the algorithm. Comment down below what you guys think of Chaos Walking. Share this video with your friends. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified when newest videos are up, when I go live, or when I post on my community tab. Chaos Walking. We all thought New Mutants had it bad, with all the test screenings and the production delays and crap, and the release date delays. This movie has been plagued and drenched in massive production hell. The film was announced in 2011. This went through multiple rewrites with scripts written, a screenplay written by Charlie Kaufman, Jamie Linden, John Lee Hancock, Gary Spinelli, Lindsey Beer, Christopher Ford, and then the actual writer of the movie coming on himself, the books coming on to write the movie. Principal photography fully started and finished around 2017, but this movie kept getting pushed back in March 2019 to remove from schedule to accommodate the film's reshoots following negative test screenings from audiences. And after seeing this movie, I can see why this movie has been pushed back so many times. And also because of the commitments to Star Wars and Spider-Man, the reshoots were not able to begin until April, and this cost an additional $15 million to add on to the already $100 million budget, and plus with the ongoing pandemic going on, this movie is one of the most unbalanced, inconsistent, craziest, messiest films I have seen of the entire 2020 year. This isn't the worst movie of the year. That goes to Run, Hide, and Fight. But this is ultimately second worst. This is what I do like about the movie. I will say this. One, I do like the idea. I think the concept, even though this is based on the book, I think the concept is fine. I think the concept is actually pretty interesting, about this germ and then this noise that can read anyone's thoughts. I thought that was pretty clever. I will say, had it been fleshed out more and better written and better executed more, I think this would have been great. Also, I will have to say, cinematography in this movie is fine. I think for the cinematography that is required here by Ben Saracen, I think it's fine. Also, the music in this movie by Michael Beltrami and Brendan Roberts is also fine. It's very decent here. Also, a lot of the acting in this movie from Tom Holland and Mads Mikkelsen, Nick Jonas, and David Oyelowo, I think the performances from those guys are fine. Also, Cynthia Erivo, even though she only has one scene, fine. There's also one decent action scene, which is actually pretty cool. That is it. The rest of this movie, however, is completely drenched. This is what happens when you know a movie has been shelved and delayed and reshot and heavily interfered for so badly. We all thought the New Mutants and Dark Phoenix and Justice League had it rough. Oh, no. This movie is drenched in the production flaw. The production problems that this movie has, it shows, because this is one of the most boring and dull scripts I've ever seen come to screen. Nothing works as far as the world and how this world works, or the characterization of the characters here. None of the characters doesn't have any sort of development or any sort of characteristics to them that makes me say, I like that character, I like that character. The only character that you'll actually care about in this movie is Tom Holland, because he is Tom Holland, also because he is a decent enough lead in the movie. But I have to say that even he doesn't get the most development, despite him being as good as he is. You have this whole concept with the noise, which is just very distracting. Like I said, it's very interesting, but translating this from a book to a movie, it doesn't really 100% work in the use of efficiency. It feels like it's just tacked on, and it feels like nothing really works in terms of how this should be executed or how this should be done. I do not blame Tom Holland or Doug Liman for this, because his direction, he does the best that he can with the direction, but it's just his direction is crumbled by the messiest, laziest script that is very inconsistent. It's all over the place. Nothing works fluent in the slightest. Also, when I talked about the acting in this movie, I say all of the actors in this movie I just mentioned, including Damian Bashir, they are all fine in this movie. But unfortunately, the worst part of this entire movie, and I usually do not say this, and that was unfortunately Daisy Ridley. I was hoping with her good acting and her charisma that she brings, she will bring something to the character she's playing. She doesn't talk a whole lot, which I know for some Daisy Ridley hears that is a plot positive, but I didn't really get much out of her. She's basically, I can easily tell that she really did not give a damn while doing this, and that is kind of sad for me to say, because Daisy really is a fantastic actress. I like her personally, but I don't know if it was her or if it was the writing, because something is fishy with her. But also Cynthia Erivo, you have a good actress like her in this movie, and she's only in the movie for one fucking scene. Only one scene in the movie. She really does not do anything in this entire movie. She's just there, and you don't see her again. She's basically a peace settler and the leader of this new world, and she's barely wasted. And let me just get into the villain right now, because this villain is the most overly ridiculous villain in the entire length of this entire movie. Oh my good God. This villain is atrocious. Mads Mikkelsen, what were you doing, man? What were you doing? His whole motivation and how the whole noise situation works doesn't really amount to anything. It's just glossed over. That's the problem with this movie. Everything feels glossed over. Nothing feels consistent. Nothing works in the slightest. Nothing in this world built up makes any sense whatsoever. And that is my biggest issue when it comes to this movie. Nothing works in the script. I feel like if you only needed one writer, why are there multiple screenwriters writing this movie? Why is this movie script so inconsistent? And again, this goes back to the whole delays and studio interference. And that's what unfortunately really hurts this movie in the long run, is that alone. Overall, Chaos Walking, this is a movie that had good intentions, and it had potential. I see the potential for a good movie in here somewhere. It's just that with all the stuff that went on during production, definitely plays this movie. How in the ever-living hell, just like El Antebellum, how did this go so wrong? Despite some good performances from most of the cast, some good, decent effects at times, which most of the effects are good, some of them are bad, some beautiful cinematography, and some decent enough direction, this movie suffers heavily from a disjointed script. The pacing is uneven as all kinds of hell. It goes from slow, then it goes from fast, then it goes to whatever. The underwritten characters are not very good, and this movie suffers from a lack of world building. Man, this is a waste of potential, and I am going to give this movie, on my rating system, I'm going to have to recommend you do not watch this. If you're curious, you can wait to watch it at home when it's on demand for free, but yeah, skip it. Skip this movie. Anyways, guys, that was my review of Chaos Walking. In the comment section down below, what did you guys think of Chaos Walking? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere right in the middle? I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about this movie. And if you like this movie, don't listen to me. Go into this movie, form your own opinion. That's what I always say. You are allowed to have your own opinion for this. I'm not going to take that away from you. But for me personally, this is a waste of potential. What do you guys think about this movie in the comment section down below? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you somewhere in the middle? Let's have a friendly discussion about this in the comment section down below. All my social media links are in the description box down below. Also, you guys keep cool and join the Epictasticness.